welcome to my channel. I am the Divine Feminine Queen, and I am coming on my channel to show you some books that I have added to my library this month. So I've been just really addicted to buying books lately and just really stocking my library with interesting things to read. But I want to share one of the books that has helped me um, in my journey on just living with chronic pain, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia. And the first book I want to show is the Fibro Manual. It's a complete fibromyalgia treatment guide. It's a book that really helped me get my fibromyalgia flares down. It's a very good read. I didn't even finish it yet, but within the first few pages, even few chapters, it explained that it's very good to have a regimen. Everybody experiences it different. This book was actually written by a doctor. So the things that she did was she did like a I think it was 3 or 4 part. Like I said, I didn't get through the whole book, but there was diet, there was massage, there was chiropractic care. I think she mentioned acupuncture, but she tried it. I don't think it worked out for her. So it was diet, it was stress management, it was chiropractic treatment, massage. So after learning that within the first few pages or chapters, I learned that I needed to put those things into play into my life so that I can get, relief. And it's helped so far. The last huge, terrible flare that I had was last year, and it lasted for 3 months. So, since I've read this book, I didn't read the whole book, but since I've read some of the book, I got through some of the book, I did flip through the pages. I have been able to better deal with my flare-ups, with a better mindset. And also, there was something that she mentioned that I don't know if it was her research or opinion, but I remember her saying that fibromyalgia is the body's, it's like a malfunction. It's a over stress response, a overactive stress response. So that so like if some people get a headache when they get stressed out. Some people, just need to breathe and drink some tea and they'll be okay. But sometimes with fibromyalgia, people who have fibromyalgia, it can cause them to get that headache, and then that headache turns into a migraine, and then your back hurts, and then your muscle, and then you basically feel like you're dying. It just like it doesn't, and it takes a while for our body to get back in that homeostasis because of this weird, they don't call it an autoimmune disease, they calling it a it's a syndrome. So like IBS syndrome. But this book has really helped. So anybody out there that has like fibromyalgia or chronic pain or whatever, specifically fibromyalgia, this book is great to have in your library. Like I said, I really do need to get through it. It gives like medications, it gives stress reduce, deep sleep stuff. I had added some things to my supplement regimen as well because of this book, and melatonin was one of them. I didn't really take melatonin as much. I used a lot of herbs and teas in my self-care regimen. So I maybe took one melatonin gummy, and then it was used up by my daughters who suffer from insomnia, probably because they sleep with a bunch of like devices on and all this jazz. But done talking about that book, let's get into the books that I have been ordering. I've been ordering crazy. I still got books on the way from the 2 from the UK from Amazon. So I'm going to show you some of the books I got from Amazon. And also today I went to the thrift shop and I purchased, I think it was like 7 books. I think it was 7 books. And I had been wanting to like add to my kids' library because I homeschool them and I want them to have a wide variety of books that they can read and be, they'll be interested in. While I have this huge bookcase in my living room, well, not living room, but my family area, there's a huge bookcase, and I am trying to fill that bookcase with great books. In my she cave, my sacred space right now, I also have a bookshelf over there, and it's empty. So I'm trying to build my library right now, and one of the things that I I mentioned it to my husband. He said, "Why don't we just go to a thrift shop or a used bookshop instead of ordering from Amazon or the bookstore?" And I'm like, "That's a great idea. I totally forgot about the thrift shop." So I'm going to show you the books I got from the thrift shop. Like I said, I got 7 books, 2 of which was for my 2 homeschoolers. And then, because I'd rather for them to come with me and pick out the books that they're interested in as well. And I also got like 5 books just to add to my library. And it was so many books there. Oh my gosh. I was like, okay, this is like the book jackpot. It was like 2 huge bookshelves full of books, and I think an aisle with a bookshelf, front and back, filled with books. And I'm like, I know I've been in here before. It's a huge thrift store here in New Orleans. And I'm like, I know I've been in here before. I've never seen this many books. And they were steadily putting up books from this big, I think it was a cart that they had. And I was like, okay, I got to come back. I purposely went in there and I did not get a cart, like a push buggy, because I'm like, I'm trying to be budget minded because I've spent some money on books already. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go in there and just look around. And I had so many books in my hand. I had 7 books, and it was heavy. Plus one more item. It was a necklace, like one of those little neck things that you hang your necklaces on. So I got one of those, but I only spent like $22. I was so amazed. Most of the books cost $1.99 or $2.99, and yeah. So let's get into these books that I got. First, I'm gonna show you the books that I purchased from Amazon. And I got a book called Sacred Geometry and Magical Symbols. And I'm just filling my library up with just interesting things or things that I'm interested in that, that I want to learn more about. So Sacred Geometry and Magical Symbols is one of the books I got from Amazon. Crystal Grid Powers. I'm a very big crystal fan. I have crystal encyclopedias. I have lots of crystals. But I'm not too familiar about or 100% like a guru when it comes to crystal grids. I am a Reiki practitioner, and I use crystals and crystal grids when I do my work, when I do my sessions on myself especially. But I don't necessarily know like this, not the science behind it, but just different grids you can use and the purpose of them. It says harness the power of crystals, sacred geometry for manifesting abundance, healing, and protection. And I just want to know more about that, because I've read other books on doing crystal grids and took a class, but I want to know more. So I got this book for that purpose. And then I ordered a book because with things going on in the world, like not crystal, but power grids going down, snow, just all kinds of different things. I got this book called Surviving a World in Distress. It's a book that tells you, it says essential knowledge and tools for preparing and surviving man-made or natural disasters. This book gonna be, a jewel. So I had to get this book for me and my family. I also got a book from Amazon called Prepper's Long-Term Survival Guide. Again, it's just things in here you just gotta know, because I know a lot of people were unprepared because you don't think about these things. There are people who are like this, like their mind is like that. There's homestead families, homestead wives who like, okay, I'm finna go out there and garden and just, grow all the food that we need so we won't have to depend on the outside so much. So this book says it's food, shelter, security, off the grid power, and more life saving strategies for self sufficient living. So this is going to be a great book. This is a great book to add to your library as well. I also got a book called Self not self, I'm sorry. The Complete Book of Home Preserving. And I've been just interested in how to preserve, even make peach preserves and fruit preserves. And, I just want to be one of those old ladies with like, chickens in the backyard, fruit trees, vegetables, and just when I say that, I think about my grandma. She had like apple tree. She had apple tree. She used to make apple jelly and cakes, and she had chickens in the back, and that it just brings back great memories, and I kind of want to follow in my ancestors' footsteps and do things like preserves. And this is good to know how to do, because you want to build a um you want to build a food pantry filled with things that you put away, um especially if you grow your own food or even buying produce from the grocery store too, and using that to grow your own stuff and then canning it. So I want to learn how to do that. So I got that book. Now these are the books from the thrift store. This is a book. I had to get a cookbook. I just mentioned the other day that I don't have enough cookbooks. So I got Simply Delicious. This is no fuss recipes, 245 recipes. And I feed my family mostly plant-based, but I know this is not a plant-based book. It says Weight Watchers, but I don't know, maybe it'll be more healthy. Then I have a book called Black Genesis, The Prehistoric Origins of Ancient Egypt. I thought it looked interesting. Always wanted to know, things about ancient history. I also got a book from the library called Earthing. I'm a believer in earthing because of just my experience with earthing, which is basically, walking on the earth, feeling the earth's energy through your barefoot feet, putting your feet on the grass, connecting with Mother Earth, basically. And as you can see, there's two, footprints on the front. So I wanted to, read more about that. And then I have a book called Reflexology. I think I'm missing a book. I didn't bring that one book. But this book is a reflexology book. I'm a huge fan of, a huge like advocate even for holistic care, alternative care. Um, so this is a book that I just wanted to have in my library so that I can learn more about reflexology, where the pressure points maybe are in your hand. Like it shows where it is in your hands. And yeah, so definitely want to get into this book. The book that I have forgotten to bring up to my space was or to the video. It's called the Emergency Medical Hand Guide or something like that. Yeah, it's a really thick book. It's for nurse practitioners and medical people, but I figured it'd be a great book to have. One of the books that I read actually said to make sure you have an emergency medical guide in your library, because what if power grid goes down, you don't have Wi-Fi, or if there's an emergency that you need, you can't get to nobody. So it's good to have the information on hand at least, you know, we learn something. It might be helpful in some way. So that's all I want to share. I have a lot of books, and yeah, it's probably, I don't know. I don't know how many books I just showed you guys, but great books to add to your library. Just wanted to come in and share that. I hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time. Don't forget to hit like, the thumbs up. Any questions you have, be sure to put them in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys another time. Bye.